Today is 12/13/23, and we are dealing with transfer cases and differentials for a 2000 Tahoe Z71 package with a 5.7 liter. So all 2000s have 5.3 liters and they're the new body style. But because it's a Z71, it follows the 99 body style, which is the 5.7 liter. So now we want to change the transmission. We changed the transmission fluid already. We want to change the transfer case and the front differential and the rear differential. So this is the information from the dealer. So this particular car with the VIN number of YR135135 gives you this diagram. And this is the front. So this is the front differential. This is the rear. The rear differential isn't in this picture, but it'll be right here. This is called the transfer case, and this is the transmission. The transmission will use 4 quarts of the Dextron 6 stuff, which is right here, Dextron 6. So get 4 of those for the transmission. It comes with a filter and a gasket that you need to get, and so you'll be done there. For the transfer case, because mine has a push button, you use Auto Track 2. Now, if you don't have the push button and it's like the stick version that you manually push it, then you would use this one called Manual Transmission and Auto Transfer Case Fluid. Part number is 8888-61800. But because I have the push button, I use Auto Track 2, which is 88900402. Now, this information took me like an hour to figure out, and even more than that. And 3 different GM dealerships give me different information. So now some more tidbits is the front differential, the one in the front, which is the front of the car there. That one has not a limited slip. So if you were to buy this oil, 7590 gear oil, this has some you can top it off to limited slip, but it does not have limited slip. So, and you do not need to add limited slip. It requires 1.75 quarts of it. But for the rear differential, which is sitting over there, that one does have limited slip. So what you want to do is you want to buy this stuff that's like limited slip supplement. You dump this in 1 bottle for the whole that, and then after that, then you top it off with gear oil, which is 7590. So my situation is I'm going to use this to put into the rear only, because the rear requires limited slip, and then after that I put 2 of these in. And then whenever it fills out, then I just stop. For the front, I only use these 2, but I don't need to add the limited slip. So that's done there. And so here's some more tidbits. So the drain plug here for the front, it's 13 millimeters. The top is 15. Make sure you open the 15 first and then open the 13. So in case you drain but you can't fill, you'll be in trouble. And for the rear differential, you have this gasket that it's called Molly, and the part number is 1580789 You will find that this piece of gasket would be hanging out in the oil. So I didn't like that. So it turns out that if you were to buy this same part number from GM, same part number, it would actually be shaped different. It would be like cut a lot more different. So imagine if you were to have this, you could just probably shave it with a knife if you really wanted to get this, because this paper material looks like it's paper, so it's going to deteriorate. But I ended up buying this other part, which I threw away in the garbage can. So let me get that. Guess it's not in the garbage can. See what's in this box. Okay, good. So we're talking about rear differential now. This rear differential, if you were to use this one from O'Reilly's for like $32 or $37, it's called 742G303A. And this will match this exactly, but it's made of metal and plastic. And it turns out that you can actually reuse it. So every time you change your differential fluid, maybe every 50,000 miles, you would just reuse it. And you can just put a little bit tap of RTBs. You don't put like a lot. But I kind of put a lot, and I put this stuff called Toyota Seal Packaging 103 FIPG. So this is supposedly the best RTV you can get in the market. So it was given to me by a Lexus mechanic, which that's what he said. And so it could be biased, but supposedly this is the best stuff for RTVs. So that's done. So now, just a FYI, when you want to open this out, open these two out, bring these in the back, and start opening it out, and then it will drain out. And then make sure you clean both surfaces very clean. Took me a long time. And then put it back. And that is that. So let's go to the front differential now. So to get to the front differential, we're talking about, this is the driver's side. We're in North America here. So this is the driver. I'm not taking off the front wheel. And so you can probably crawl underneath here or put in some jack stands. But this is the 13 millimeter bolt. This is the 15 millimeter bolt. You can see it's open right now. So basically, I'm going to fill that up with 75-90 gear lube oil until it drains out. Then I'm done. But there is a cover here. That's for 15 millimeters, and it's sitting right there. So that should be changed maybe either like every 50,000 or 100,000 miles. And now we talk about the transfer case. The transfer case. Oh, let's talk about the transmission. So this is my transmission. It's just been done, but ultimately there's a whole bunch of 13 millimeters around. What you want to do is you want to open. So this is where the front passenger is. Start opening this first, and slowly it'll leak right here. So you focus on your leak to a pan right here. Right here is this corner. And then you start opening out the rest. So you open a little bit more in the back, a little bit more in the back, but start with the front passenger first. And then finally, when it comes out, you literally have to like tilt this pan like this way, that way, and then down. Because see this cover here? These things are really, really tight. Just even putting this pan back is difficult. So when you put the pan back and everything's clean, no RTV, just the gasket, and just put some of the bolts through the gasket, and that way it holds it in there so you can tilt it and put it in. And then make sure you change that filter in there. My filter came with a little piece of insert to make it fit a different model, but it did need it. So I took the insert off and I pushed it in, and it's in. And then I think this is 4 quarts of Dextron 6. So now we're talking about transfer case. So this is the transfer case, and supposedly, you have any light? Give me the light. There's the drain plug there, and maybe I'll take this cover out, but the fill plug is there, and the drain plug is supposed to be there. So we are in the rear of the car. This is going to be a little bit difficult to do. I haven't got to it yet, but that's my next project. All right, this is everything I learned about the Chevy Tahoes. And tidbit from O'Reilly's. The guy who rebuilds rear end, he was there. He said that if you put this stuff in a limited slip differential, and you just put this in, it actually doesn't come with limited slip differential, so you actually have to add it. So if you use this, like after a little bit, you could hear like weird noises out of your limited slip, and then once you add this in, it goes away. So make sure if you buy this, get the supplement. All right, any other tidbits I need to tell you? So this job, the car is on a lift, and I would highly say that it's easier on a lift. It could be done on the ground, but it sure is messy. I can't imagine how many times I went in and out, in and out, in and out. And if I'm on the ground, get a friend, and then get everything ready and think about it, or else you're gonna go in and out, in and out. Oh, and the rear, I did get a wire brush, and I brushed it all to the top to make sure if I open this up, none of that dirt will go inside here. And then when I'm taking off the old stuff, I made sure I put a towel in here so none of that will go into the gear. And then I let it drip like overnight, so by the time I clean this up, the new gasket doesn't have oil dripping through it. And then I clean everything with brake clean or gasoline to make that surface is really clean. So again, without a lift, it will be difficult. All right, thanks for watching 10 minutes.